camp. But you can see the 3 toes on it. Another big ornithopod track. So, good day in Colorado. The really cool thing about this is that there's a dinosaur footprint right there. We sat there last night and we didn't even see that footprint right there. So it's a nice ornithopod. You see 3 toes on it. And this is the view. This buff colored sandstone, and you can kind of see it as it extends this way, all the way across. This was a beach 100 million years ago, and if you would look off into that direction, you'd see the ocean was just starting to encroach into Colorado. I haven't quite made it yet, but you'd be able to see it out in the distance, so there would be some water coming in. And so Colorado at this time was at sea level. So 100 million years ago, we were at sea level. So, and you can see that this has been, these big blocks break off and crack and fall off and tumble down into the canyon. So we're gonna walk down into the canyon. So here's one of these big cracks down the rocks. So we're gonna go ahead and climb down in here, and we're gonna walk along this crack. So you can see here, I call this the fat man's misery, because you'll have a hard time getting through without it. And we made it, and you can kind of turn around and look back there. That's what we came through. And the really amazing thing is, if we come in here, we get to see these rocks, and you see this cross bedding. So you see a little bit of wind that's been cross bedding these things. It looks like most of it has just been just water, but obviously there's some wind that's gone along with this and pulled us through. So we're going to continue to walk on out and to see where this takes us. Come down into this flat area, and looks like somebody has obviously built a fire pit down in there, and quite a magnificent view of the canyon. And we're going to walk to the west, because there seems to be these types of rocks that have tracks. One of these they look like this kind of color and shape to it. So we're going to walk over here and see if we can find any tracks. And lo and behold, there's a track right here. You can see 1 toe, 2 toe, and the 3rd toe has been broken off. So there's a track here. So it's come from falling down from up here and somehow survived for kind of a long period. Here's some of these other rocks that will have tracks in them. So that's what we look like. That's what we look at when we're out here walking around top. And this is where I got to get skinny. Alright, skinny. And we made it, and we pop up on top. The Ankylosaur's skin site, we'll let you guys see that. We're going to zoom in here. You can see the skin all along here, all covering a large part of it. This is a claw right here, so this thing stepped in. So you're seeing 1, 2, 3, 4, and then this is his 5th toe that drug the claw in. So you can see the striations on the side of the claw. So very unusual to see that. And if you look there, there's a print there. Another ankylosaur site, and this is what it looks like around here. So you can see there's the skin track, and here's another track here. As we walk up, you start to see there's a track down here. Here's a rock that's been flipped over. There's a track here. There's just tracks everywhere here. This is like a dinosaur freeway. Wait, they've already named it that. This is a dinosaur I-25. There's 2 hardly working people looking for tracks. Me, look at how hard I'm working.
Hardly working. Well, we don't have to work that hard. There's tracks everywhere.
There's tracks everywhere. You can see tracks up underneath these blocks up in here, these under tracks. If we look down the hill, there's tracks down below. Just about every single block that you see has a track on it. Okay, so right here, what you're looking at is a croc swim mark. So these are your 4 toes from the croc. So the croc swam through and pulled its claws through there. And then down on this block, you see these marks here. And these, since you're not seeing the 4, these are pterosaur swim marks. So this pterosaur is swimming through the water, pulling its claws. There's some claw marks there. Here's a few more down here in this block. And then up next to this footprint right here, here's some really nice croc swim marks right here, pulling through. They extend all the way up in here. This is probably a pterosaur up here, because it's only got the 2. But you can see there are a lot of organisms over down here. Here's some more swim marks. And you can see the flow of the water, so the water was flowing this way 100 million years ago. So here we're out at a place we just named Crocodile Rock, and the reason we call it Crocodile Rock is I'm going to show you here in a second. But as you can see, we are finding ankylosaur footprints. That's an ankylosaur footprint there. Here's another ankylosaur footprint here. I think so far we've gotten close to 20, and I'm going to show you this particular rock right here. It's exciting. And I'll put a scale on it so you can kind of see it. But this is what's exciting. So when you look at this rock, you're looking at crocodile swim marks, and you can see the 4 toes. And then you see 4 toes here swimming through. The really neat thing is that if you can zoom in, and hopefully you can get it, you can see where this croc swam through the water and hit the mud, and this is what's left of his skin. So you can see the scales left this long mark in the rock, and you can see that it's an absolutely gorgeous specimen. So welcome to Crocodile Rock. We made today, this is now named Godzilla Flats, and there's Godzilla right over there. Wave Godzilla. There's Godzilla. No, really the reason it's called Godzilla is because of the size of the tracks that have been found here. They are absolutely immense, probably some of the biggest ever found. Most of these are ornithopods. So we'll walk over here. For example, there's this track here. This measures 69, almost 70 centimeters long and 63 centimeters across. There's this one here. You see the three toes, very distinct three toes on this. This is another ornithopod. We walk down there, literally are everywhere. Here's another track that's been flipped over. Here's another big ornithopod. You see the three toes on it. Here is another large ornithopod right there. You see the three toes. Here's a large ankylosaur that's been flipped over. Here is, looks like an ankylosaur, probably is. There's another one that's been flipped over there. So pretty much all of these big slabs, there's a track underneath that, right there. See more tracks flipped. Here's a large track right here, three-toed track, another large ornithopod. No, that's four-toed. That's a huge ankylosaur. There's some tracks there, and you see these blocks that have been flipped over ever. There's more up there. So we'll take a look at this one here. There's another track, large track that's sitting on the underneath of this. So amazing find today. So we'll be mapping it in. So Godzilla Flats. So we're down in the Jurassic now. We're walking up a wash. As you can see right here, you're starting to see bones coming out right here. And here is a rib coming out. And you have the tuberculum, the capitulum, so this would attach at the top of the vertebra. So this is really big. This is a big bone. Down here, you have a vertebra, and you see the round, that's the centrum, and these are the processes that are coming out and up. So this thing would have extended out and up into here, so this is part of it here. So what you see is this vertebra would have been over 4 feet tall. Here's another piece of one that's still some of the bone left in it. And this is some of the pieces that come up, and these are dorsal verts, so they're coming off the back. And the vertebra would have been up in here, the centrum, and it would have been gone. Amazing. This is probably a good example of Ultrasaurus. It's big. These would have been really big, 60-some feet tall. So, very cool stuff.